Peacemaker.
In peacemakings.
Peacemakings. Peacemakings. Let's go.
Makings of peace.
Yes.
Makings of the peace.
And we have hot mic, just so you know. And which means we are here. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Nerd Word, where the word is nerd. I am HaplessLuckett.
I am Guymanbrodawg.
And I am neither of those things. I'm Fireball.
So welcome. First off, hello, Gabbo. Welcome,
Gabbo.
first
Hi,
one
Gabby.
here. Yes. Here, you want to scoot in? Actually, scoot in a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, come closer to me, guys.
Come love.
Yeah.
Come share the spotlight.
Come love.
I'm here.
Speaking of spotlight, I know it's not nerd stuff, but I just want to put it out there for the people in Cincinnati, the people who are fans of Cincinnati. Cincinnati Bengals won a playoff game for the first time in 31 years. I just want to give a shout out and a big hooday. But beyond that,
Hooday.
yes.
Who cares? I'm kidding. Being from Cincinnati, gotta be proud of that. That's a big win for Cincy. Go Cincinnati.
It is. And Gabbo says woot and yay.
Woot and yay. That sounds about right for her.
And
Like that woot.
yeah. But there's also a little bit of sadness. We lost Bob Saget this week.
Sad.
Yeah,
Tragic.
or was it last? Yeah, it was this week, earlier this week, and it is.
Well, today's Sunday, so
Yeah,
it was last week.
this is why I have you here.
Hey, I serve a purpose, y'all. Look at that.
Other than that, he has no other purpose. I'm just kidding. You have all the purpose in the
But
world.
yes, R.I.P., big R.I.P., all caps to Bob Saget.
Yeah.
You know, with Bob Saget passing, it's really got me thinking a lot about, like, watching Full House as a kid, and it also got me thinking about, like, some of my favorite sitcoms, and I just want to know what some of you guys' were.
Okay.
Well,
You want to start with me?
Yeah.
Well, I like the ones that seem to have the darkest undertones, like Roseanne and Married with Children.
Right.
Like Roseanne, Married with Children, two of my favorites. I just liked how miserable Al Bundy was and how Roseanne and Dan constantly had conflict to deal with. It just seemed closer to real to me, so I always enjoyed those.
So between the two, like if you had only an option to watch one at a time, like say you were watching TV and you were channel surfing because it's the 90s, and they were both on at the same time, which are you picking?
Married with Children.
Married with Children?
Yeah.
I love Married with Children. I used to watch that a lot because my dad loved it. I guess now that I'm older, my dad loved it so much was because he could relate.
I think that's why I liked it.
But my personal favorite, Gabbo says she feels old now. Married with Children was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, my favorite, I will go back to saying Full House. Like I know there's a lot of them. Like Family Matters was one that I absolutely love, and Steve Urkel. I love those.
Do you count Fresh Prince?
Yeah, I count Fresh.
That is as well.
I would count Fresh Prince.
Phase.
Yeah, but I don't know something. Okay, you know, if we're gonna count Fresh Prince, I'm sorry, Bob Saget. I love Full House. But if we're counting Fresh Prince, then yeah, no. Fresh Prince has to be the best. And now, speaking of Fresh Prince, we could go talk to a little bit about the show later on, though. We'll talk about that. Because I just thought about that. But Fresh Prince was, like, the greatest show to me ever. Like, period. Because Will Smith was always the GOAT. I always thought Will Smith was the greatest actor.
Still to this day.
Even though he hasn't been in anything in, like, what? 7-8 years.
No.
Shit. No, yeah.
He just did that Serena and Venus Williams.
That's right, he did.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, he did. What
He's still doing things, just not to the caliber of what he used to do.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I just saw, you could just see the range, because there were episodes that were real serious. And there was episodes that were just absolutely hysterical, even though it was a comedy. Mm-hmm. And you could just see the contrast between this rich, uptight family and this kid from the slums, and you can just see the contrast in how he tries to fit in, but also tries to stand out. It's hilarious. I can't relate in any way whatsoever, but I just think it's very interesting, and I think it's probably in my eyes like the greatest one ever.
My favorite sitcom, you would think it'd be Full House. Full House is definitely a classic, and I loved that show.
One of my favorites.
But my favorite, the one that stands above them all, is Boy Meets World. Because
That's a good one.
I was a kid when I started watching that show. And to see Corey Matthews go from a boy, and then you sort of just grow up with him, it's like, it's really cool to see that. And then I even watched Girl Meets World when they rebooted it and put it on Disney Channel or whatever, and that show was very similar, and I still got the same enjoyment out of it because it was Corey and Topanga.
My question, actually, it's not even a question. I just remember how much you guys love that show because I remember way, way, way back in the day, like when the first, year I've met you. When you guys had to work and you didn't have a babysitter for them, and I was actually babysitting. I was a horrible babysitter.
You weren't the worst.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Never mind. Anyway, I remember you guys watching that a lot. Back when we were watching, you guys were like, it was like a thing for you guys. You all would sit down and watch Boy Meets World, and I do remember that. But
good times.
It's definitely nostalgia. You actually the one that told me that. Was it you? I think it was you that said being a nerd is nothing but nostalgia.
Yeah, you blew my mind with that one.
Yeah, I think that definitely blew my mind. Speaking of mind blowing, there are a couple of things that have been floating around in the ether that we can discuss today, and I think that's really cool. A couple of these rumors that are floating around for the MCU and the future movies, and the one movie in particular, Multiverse of Madness, which comes out in... Did they move that back again into May?
It's in May now. And
I don't know if you guys know, but the rumors that we are speaking of, number one, is good old Tommy Boy Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible Tom Cruise. For those who didn't know, he was the original cast for Tony Stark. But I think that they didn't go through with it because of not casting issues, but scheduling issues. He might have been making Mission Impossible 37. So...
But for those who don't know, it is a rumor.
Yeah.
They just wanted a taller Iron Man.
I don't think he's much taller. I think Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'10".
But nonetheless, so we don't confuse anyone, the rumor is that Tom Cruise is going to make an appearance as Iron Man. And it is just a rumor at this point. We're not sure what's going on with it, but it's being talked about. If you want to do your own research, look into that, see what you come up with, let us know.
He's going to be like a variant from another universe.
That's what's said, yes, or believed.
And I think that'd be really cool. Would that weird you guys out?
I'd be okay with it. I mean, we got 3 different Spider-Men. Why wouldn't we have different Iron Men,
I totally agree with that. I think that would be perfectly fine. And especially if he doesn't, come in to replace the Iron Man that was already here. If he just comes in for that movie, makes a little
cameo.
Yeah, a little 10-minute cameo, even a 5-minute cameo, just come and go. I'd be fine with that. I would be totally A-okay with that. There are other rumors that other appearances are supposed to be made, like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
Which I don't quite believe, but
I think
I'll believe
that'd
it when
be
I
dope,
see it.
though. I really would like that.
I think that would be okay. I think that would be cool. Let me actually name off a couple of them, and we can see what we think. I heard again, these are all rumors. John Krasinski is supposed to be appearing as a variant of Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, and Wolverine.
I would like to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. That'd be sick.
And Patrick Stewart are all just again rumored to be in this movie. What do we think?
Well, the rumor does say that it's actually going to be Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart as well. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe everything I read on the internet. I know I'm supposed to because it's all supposed to be true.
I think Logan was really their last appearance. I think that's why they killed them off and made that movie like their final resting place.
Okay.
I feel like if they're in it now, if they bring those characters back, it'll kind of take away some of the weight that Logan had. I thought that movie was great. It was a great.
It was a good movie. It was only powerful because of the ending.
So you guys would be okay with Tom Cruise coming back as Iron Man, but not okay as Hugh Jackman coming back as a variant of Wolverine.
Yeah, I feel like it should be someone other than Hugh Jackman.
Even though they're both dead and they both died in a very noble way, both of them. So to have a variant of each character come back is okay as long as it's Tony Stark.
No, as long as it's casted differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if Hugh Jackman is coming back to play Logan, he's basically our Logan. That's the one we're familiar with. Yeah. If they make that character alive again for this movie, like same deal, it'll take away from the other one. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see that. But if it's someone completely new, I have no like connection with this Logan, and I know that it's from a different universe. Mm-hmm. I haven't kept up with that one, so it'd be cool to see what that one has to offer. Right. Because we don't know.
Fully agreed, 100%.
I see where you're going with it, but also you can realize that it could be playing at a different area in time. It's not like they can say go to a spot before events of Logan, because these are all just cameos. These are of course rumors. Yeah. These would all be cameos. It's not like they're coming into the MCU and staying. So if let's see, Hugh Jackman comes in and makes an appearance as Wolverine, maybe it's Doctor Strange going into that universe as opposed to them bringing him into our universe. So we can go over there during a specific time where he's still alive, just walk past him and be like, oh yeah, and then be gone. But I still say it's the same. It's the same concept. It's the same thing.
It depends on the writing. It just depends on how they write it in and how they do it. It could be good. It could be bad. It could make or break a film. So we'll just have to wait and see how they pull it off.
Yeah, we just will. And I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be okay. But that's again, it's
rumors.
Yeah, as if any of this would ever happen.
We shall see.
Maybe it's just a whole lot of what Marvel fans want. Because I've seen for years pictures of John Krasinski photoshopped as Mr. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like I know that's what people want. So part of me is like, are people just making this stuff up in hopes that it'll like maybe gain traction or like so I'm not really believing any of it.
Well, there's speaking of more rumors. I think a variant of Venom would be kind of interesting too, Gabby. Like a different one. Mm-hmm. But we might that. I think we might end up getting that with Asian Venom. But what?
Well, that could just be the start of it too, though. That's not to cap off a story.
Yeah, this is true.
So we are highly possibly going to get a Venom.
I'd really like that. But if we do get this John Krasinski, because John Krasinski's if he comes into the movie and he's a variant of Mr. Fantastic, that would mean the other ones would probably exist in the universe somewhere. Do you think that would make him ours? Because if he's a variant and we've never seen him, but we're seeing all these other people who have been casted as these other Marvel characters coming back for like split cameos.
He wouldn't make them ours. The only way we could really have like our own Fantastic Four is if they've already existed in the MCU prior to all the multiverse stuff.
Well, we all know that that's something MCU prides himself on doing.
But like, I just can't see a world where Tony Stark has been doing all this, the battle against Thanos, and the Fantastic Four never show up.
Yeah. Because you know where the Fantastic Four kind of take place? It also took place in San Francisco. So it depends on
the country.
Yeah, so it could really depend. Even though they went to Wakanda, but also Fantastic Four may not have actually been like the Fantastic Four yet. They could still just be Reed Richards and Johnny Storm and Sue Storm and Ben Grimm.
If that's the case, then I could see that.
Yeah.
And who knows? They might do that with John Krasinski. He could be the one who's already here. We don't really know yet.
We don't really know. And if that happens, I would be completely for him playing Mr. Fantastic and Emily Blunt playing Sue Storm.
Oh yeah, all day.
I would be fine with that.
I would love that.
But there are rumors already for Fantastic Four that are more rumors that are floating around that there's a potential casting for Ben Grimm.
Who are they talking about?
I will give you 3 guesses.
The Rock.
No,
That would have been my first one.
3. That would have been hilarious too. But no, he's in Shazam, so he's got that thing going on. So
And it wouldn't be Dave Bautista.
no, it absolutely would not. But I'll give you. Hold on. Let me give you these 2 hints. One, he has not played in any DC or Marvel movie, so he's brand new. 2, he does mostly comedies.
Seth Rogen?
Yes.
Why is he in everything? I mean, that's my dude. Go get him, Seth. But damn, he has got a hand in everything.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That, I mean, again, there's no confirmation,
Yeah, that's
but
rumor, of course.
that was somebody that they were talking about. I heard that they were talking about making it. What we think about it, Ben Grimm and John Krasinski were playing Mr. Fantastic in the Thing. How would we look at that?
I'd love it.
I think that'd be great.
I think that would be sick.
Rogen's got the voice already.
Yeah.
He's got the voice for it.
Say it's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
Yep. There we go. Because you sound a lot like Seth Rogen.
I was trying to do the voice of the original Thing from the old cartoon.
This raises a question.
Yeah.
So, say John Krasinski is actually Mr. Fantastic and Ben Grimm is actually that other guy. Who would you guys want to see in the roles of Sue Storm and Johnny Blaze?
Well, I already told you.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already told you, speaking of Johnny Blaze, there's rumors of he's been casted too.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Cage, right?
No, like the reboot.
Oh, there's going to be a reboot.
Yeah, and he's your boy. The look on your face tells me you already know who it is.
No, I don't. Who? Tell me. Tell me.
Mr. Norman Reedus
What?
has been rumored to be casted as Johnny Blaze.
Oh,
That'd
dude,
be
that
pretty
would be
cool.
badass.
I wouldn't mind
That
seeing
would
that.
be so cool.
But again, there has not been any confirmation. There's been
All
popped up.
rumors, all rumors.
Dude, I didn't know I needed that. Yeah, dude.
I messaged
please
you
cast
about that.
Norman Reedus as Ghost Rider.
He's already a motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then we'd have Daryl and Michonne in the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okoye.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You know who else, speaking of... We'll get to your question about Sue Storm. I already told you Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Now,
okay,
Johnny
that's
Blaze,
kinda good,
we'll get to that. But also, it just made me think, who else could be a really, really good Reed Richards? The guy who played as Rick Grimes.
Andrew Lincoln.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he could do
He
that.
could be a good Mr. Fantastic.
He could be a really good Mr. Fantastic. But to answer your question about who would play Johnny Storm, I am going to go on a limb and say that if I were to cast it, I would cast Zac Efron. Because he's young,
Perfect.
he's good looking,
Yeah.
he's funny. I think when he plays some funny roles, he's great.
He can pull off arrogant.
He can pull off arrogant. I've saw Baywatch. That's Johnny Storm's character.
Yeah.
That's Johnny Storm's character.
Touche.
So
You
the
know
only
what?
thing is he's not blonde, but that's fine.
Hair dye.
And you want to know who else I would cast if that wouldn't work? People are gonna fucking flip their mind when I say this, but it would work perfectly because he is the Johnny Storm of our generation for real, and he could probably act. I've seen him act before.
Who?
Justin Bieber. I said it, Justin Bieber, because he's also a good-looking kid. He could act. I think with the right director, he could act, and it's especially since it's John Watt, he could do it because he was also in CSI. Let's not forget he's played a couple of roles. He was in CSI. He was in Zoolander, so it's not like he's no stranger to the camera. And he's again is that guy for real.
If Justin Bieber is Johnny Storm, I'm not seeing Fantastic Four.
Okay, why?
No.
I don't like Justin Bieber. Not as an artist, as a human being. I don't like him. I'm not a fan. And plus, he's way too tatted and looks too homeless to play Johnny.
You obviously have not seen how he looks. And tatted up because it's not an issue in Hollywood. Megan Fox plays characters all the time and she's tatted up.
Fair enough.
So tattoos don't matter.
I don't like Justin Bieber. Not a fan.
That's perfectly fine. But those are my two. What about you? Who would your cast for Johnny Storm be?
Chris Evans. That would be funny.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, there's another one. No, I honestly, I don't know. I don't follow the younger actors too much anymore, so like, I don't know who's out there.
Fair enough. So that's two for Zac Efron.
Yeah, just give me Zac Efron. He's the only one I could think of.
What about you?
I would say either of the Amell cousins. Stephen or Robbie Amell.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like he may be a little too old, but I still think... No.
Robbie's young.
Stephen Amell, I think they can do it, but my only thing is Stephen Amell is a horrible actor. Yeah, I said it. He's not that good. I saw Ninja Turtles.
Did you see Code 8?
I did not. But I also saw... Well, he was good as Arrow, so I can't really judge. I guess Ninja Turtles is judging him too harshly.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was supposed to be campy, so I take that back. He's not a horrible actor, but...
What about your guy from Code 8 or whatever, the one that was the electric type, the star, what's his name?
Robbie Amell.
No, that was... Are you sure?
From Code 8, the main... Yeah, they were both in that
star?
movie.
I thought Amell was the one that was driving the van.
That's Stephen Amell.
Oh, those two are cousins.
Those two are cousins in real life.
I just learned that. Okay, so that's news to
me. Yeah.
So the Amell. So either of the Amells could probably...
Yeah, honestly, looking back on that, I would say that would work. Why not?
Fair enough.
I don't think the hair color really matters too much.
It doesn't.
Makeup and dye,
it really
that's
doesn't.
Hollywood.
I mean, not even that. You wouldn't even have to dye his hair. Like, Robbie Amell has black hair. It would still work.
I don't think it really matters.
Because it's going to be on fire regardless.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. But you guys never told me who you would cast for Sue. The Invisible Woman. Miss Invisible. Miss Visible.
Ariana Grande.
I mean, the go-to would be Emily Blunt, but I feel like there could be somebody better for that role.
Jessica Alba.
Take it back.
No. Please, no.
She might be a little too old now.
Oh, she would, but also, I really think that there would be somebody better. And I honestly think the perfect cast would be Emily Blunt, because she's married to John Krasinski. I think the chemistry would already be there.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So I really think those two would be, like, the perfect...
Might as well go for it.
Might as well.
What if Jennifer Lawrence played her?
She's got too many roles in the comic book world.
She's
already
Mystique.
She's Mystique.
Yeah.
Well, she's also Katniss Everdeen, and she's a lot of big names like that. It's just too much of a name to throw into another big role like that.
Well, that's what the MCU
Someone else
does.
deserves the credit for that.
I agree with that, though. Give it to some. Well, in that case, we shouldn't give it to Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, because they play like a lot of. He plays
not in like any comic book things that I can recall.
John Krasinski does the Tom Clancy Jack Reacher.
But that's like based off a novel.
Yeah.
That's not really comic book.
But also, so is Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, that's based off of books.
Yeah, but she also plays Mystique. John Krasinski and Emily
true.
Blunt haven't ever played a superhero, I don't think.
This is true. Okay, then yeah. Yeah, I can go with that.
Those two would definitely
Let us know what you all think.
Yes.
Tell us something. Drop some names in the comments of who you'd like to see playing some of these characters. I'd like some other takes on it.
Absolutely. Speaking of other takes, what did you guys think of the Eternals?
Well, my mine's simple. I'll drop mine real quick because yours is probably going to be really detailed. I was entertained. It was a decent movie. It wasn't one of Marvel's strongest. So Marvel set the bar too high for themselves, but the movie itself was okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Probably won't watch it again. Had no real rewatch value. But I would say if you watch it, you're not going to be disappointed. It was entertaining.
That's definitely one that I've yes, I said it, still pushing off.
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I'm a big sucker for like flashy powers and stuff. That's why I'm a big Doctor Strange fan. And to see all of their powers at work throughout the movie, and all of them are like very different, was really cool. You were getting so much with that, and the action sequences were dope because of it too. It's like those parts made it the rest of the movie that was like sort of slow and just build up all worth it. They really did it well.
Well, I'm still wanting to see it, but at the same time, I'm still like, yeah.
You're a Marvel fan. You should definitely check it out just on principle alone.
Yeah.
You won't regret watching it. It was pretty good. It was worth the watch.
Because there's not one that I have particularly hated. There's a lot of them that I just don't like. And I feel like this will be one that either I don't like or I will just surprisingly like.
Never know till you watch it.
I know, mother lover.
And it sets things up too. So like,
yeah, I did hear that it does set up a lot of things for the future.
Yeah.
As do all Marvel movies.
Yeah. So I feel like it's one of those that I do kind of need to see at some point, but also it's not one that I need to see urgently. It's like, oh, if the next movie comes out, it's not like Doctor Strange. If I don't see Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange ain't gonna make sense. No, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Because it came out before Spider-Man. So
yeah,
I'll eventually end up seeing it. Speaking of seeing things, a new trailer for Moon Knight releases tomorrow during the playoff game, and I sent you a picture of Moon Knight's costume.
Yes. Well, it was like a portrait style, chest up, and it looked sick. I liked the look a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Moon Knight.
So
yeah, that looks good.
It's.
Let me see one more time.
Oh,
yeah.
The dogs are killing each other.
Yeah, that is so sick.
It is. It's not really comic accurate because the MCU has been doing a really good job as far as costumes to make it comic accurate, but also give it like their own flair.
Right.
And I feel like this one they were just like, we'll take ideas from this one, but it's going to be like completely from scratch because it looks really good.
It does.
But it doesn't look like the traditional Moon Knight. But at the same
I'd say it's like identifiably Moon Knight, though.
It's identifiably Moon Knight,
knowing, and you're guessing it's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Y'all should definitely Google Moon Knight live action. He looks cool. Just look at the images. It's a great look.
So how do we think that is going to rank compared to the other MCU shows?
Ooh.
It's going to be tough. I mean, the other MCU shows have set the bar so high that it's going to have to be pretty epic to even hang with them. But being Moon Knight, that is a sought-after character. That's something everybody's waiting to see. All they got to do is write it right, and this will be a hit.
Yeah?
Yeah, this one I'm most excited for, I think, because all the previous Disney Plus shows have been characters we've already known. We got Wanda and Vision, Winter Soldier and Cap. But, like, since I've read some Moon Knight comics and I like the character already, to see him in a new light is just really exciting. And I think that one's going to go crazy.
I think it'll be excellent. I do apologize for the dogs. They probably don't even know we're recording a podcast.
Even if they did, they wouldn't care.
No, they would. They totally would. They're awesome.
Who, the dogs?
Oh.
I was talking about the dogs.
Okay, yeah, the dogs wouldn't care. No.
Yeah, no, the dogs aren't going to give a shit.
Yeah, you're right. But Taylor and Carly would.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't talking about that.
I was like, wait. No. Gabo asked if it would be worth seeing. The Eternals, do you guys think it's still worth seeing?
Yeah, I would recommend watching
Definitely.
it once. It's good to see it just the once and say you did. And if you really love it, watch it again. But
I watched it twice.
yeah, he's seen it twice.
And it's a 2.5 hour long movie. Like, I really did enjoy it.
But it's worth a watch, for sure. I'd recommend it.
2.5. Well,
Yeah.
I might have to watch it. I keep telling myself I'm going to watch it, so I might just suck up and flip and watch it. Speaking of watching, we got other rumors, other things to watch out for in the future. The Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
That another.
Very excited for that.
Apparently, I don't know if they said it's started filming or they're almost done filming with Ewan McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan.
That's so cool.
That's gonna be good.
That is so cool.
Where do you think that's gonna rank?
Oh, dude, it's probably definitely gonna be better than Boba.
Yeah.
And better than Mando, maybe, because I already love Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I didn't know Mando before the show, but that set the bar really high. Mandalorian was crazy.
Mm-hmm. I am super excited for it. It's going to rank high with me just because I'm a big Obi-Wan fan. I love lightsabers. We're finally going to get to see some lightsaber action. And, a little less blasters and a little more swords. But I'm a big Obi-Wan fan. I'm very biased, so this is going to sit at the top for me, even probably over Mandalorian. But on the charts, or according to everyone else, we'll see where it falls. I'm not sure. It's all in the writing.
Well, I agree. That's how most things are, because apparently Boba Fett... Some people are loving Boba Fett.
Some people are loving it. I'm not so much.
Yeah.
I feel it's a little weak.
Yeah, we can actually get to that. First, I'm actually excited for Obi-Wan, because I've never been that much of a Star Wars fan. I've always been more of a fan of the sabers and the shootouts and the fights. Just at some point it just became too much talking about, and it's like space politics. And it's like, I don't want to know about your space politics. Why you can't teach him the Force? Who's getting Force choked and thrown through a window? That's what I want. That's what I'm waiting for. Who's getting shot with a blaster? And it just took way too long. In Europe, they have fencing with lightsabers. I've seen that. That's dope.
I've actually seen those videos.
Those are awesome.
Really cool. They have full competitions.
They do, and that shit is cray. But going back to Boba Fett, I'm actually getting really disappointed right now. But again, I never really was a fan. I was a huge fan of Mandalorian, and I was kind of hoping to be on par with that.
Same.
But this feels a lot more like fan justice. Like the people who weren't only just fans of the movies, but also fans of all the other source materials, like all the comic books and all the graphic novels and the actual novels that were made based on Star Wars characters that were canon or not canon. So I think it does a lot of fan justice to those people, but people like me and people who don't really follow Star Wars are going to be kind of lost. But and it's also very, very, very slow.
Yeah. It's slow paced.
And we never did give our warning. So spoilers ahead. From this point on, spoilers, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned.
We didn't really spoil anything yet, though.
No, that's why we're going.
Now we're
that's what the warning is for.
So
from here on.
So you have been warned.
Yeah.
Of course. And the biggest thing on my mind from the most recent episode of Boba, he has a Rancor now.
Yeah.
And he's where Jabba the Hutt was when we saw him in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
That's crazy. Wow.
What
do you guys think about that?
What makes it so crazy, even though he does have a Rancor, is you mentioned it after we watched it, how Rancors are these big beasts, but they're tame. They're they're quite friendly. I was talking to a coworker of mine who is a huge Star Wars nerd. He reads the novels and stuff like that, and he's like, the only way that Jedis and Sith were able to ride them is that they literally force broke their minds in order to control them and tame them. But then they just kind of retcon that by saying, oh no, they're only aggressive if you attack them. They're usually friendly.
Danny Trejo in there. He's a Rancor Wrangler. There's a new position, never been in Star Wars. Because these things have been savage beasts.
Yeah.
Because they are savage beasts, but to everyone who isn't the first person they see. So maybe those Jedis or whatever who force broke their minds, they're not the first person that those Rancors have seen.
But that's my quarrel with the show. That's my biggest quarrel. They're taking all the things out of Star Wars that used to just be savage, beasts that just take and kill and this and that and just, the monsters of the whole series. And now they're personifying them and giving them all personalities and making them lovable. And I don't like that. Yeah. Tusken Raiders, Rancors, they're ruining all the savagery that I used to love about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite side of that because I see it as like it's showing us that all of these monsters and these people that we've perceived as bad for so long are alive. They are people too, and they have feelings. Like every living organism has feelings, and it shows us that, and I like that.
I agree with that when it comes to Tusken Raiders because I played The Last of Us. I played The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2. And The Last of Us 2, you were able to play both sides and see both sides of the story. And that's why I fell in love with it, because you get to see from a different perspective. And seeing it from the perspective of the Tusken Raiders is like, okay, I see. I understand. You guys still suck, but I understand. Rancors, on the other hand, that is a huge, like, a what? Because in all the games, you never fight Tusken Raiders. I can't think of a game where you really fight Tusken Raiders. But you always fight Rancors. Huh?
Lego games.
But in Fallen Order, Jedi, what was the one, Darth Vader, and you're the apprentice?
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. Both of those Rancors were a big thing. Never really Tusken Raiders.
I'm just waiting on an episode of Boba Fett where we go to Hoth and Boba goes into a cave and sees a wampum family having dinner, and then he befriends them and hangs out with the wampums, and they show him a whole new side of that creature in itself, and then maybe he can go to another planet and we can learn all about other creatures that have just been savage and
Deathman.
get into their lives.
That's pretty much how I feel about this show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right there with you because I get it. It can humanize the Tusken Raiders. I'm fine with that because, we never seen the side of a Tusken Raider. We just always seen them be bad. We never seen anything else. We have seen a lot of Rancors be horrible without having a Sith anywhere near it. Just like a regular stormtrooper might be riding it. So none of this makes sense.
I don't recall ever seeing anybody ride them.
No, nobody ever really has. It's spoken of, but never really.
I don't think we've ever seen it. I think that's more or less like the novels and stuff. But I could be wrong because I never read the novels either because, again, Star Wars was never my thing. And yes, Gabby, Rancors are some terrifying SOBs. I would not want to be within 1 or 2 football fields of that thing.
Without a weapon.
No, even with a weapon, I'm not taking a risk. If that weapon is not a nuke, I want it. So, also moving forward with more spoilers, I got halfway through Peacemaker, and so far, I am enjoying it. I think it's really, really funny. John Cena picked up right where he left off with Suicide Squad. I didn't get too much of the story, but I don't mind being spoiled. So if you guys want to tell me about what you guys thinking about Peacemaker.
I like it.
So far, I think it's funny. I'm digging it.
Yeah. We're only 1 episode in, him and I. We've got 3. We've only watched 1. But so far, that 1 episode's got us.
I'll finish my episode after this.
Something you can talk about. What did you guys think of that intro?
Oh God!
Oh, that was a little too Seth MacFarlane over the top for me. I don't think that's how that should have went down.
I mean, I feel that I disagree. I think that is why I loved it so much, because it was so Seth MacFarlane. But what made it so great is they weren't smiley and cheering. They were very, their faces were down. They were like it felt like they had to do this. So
yeah,
it just felt very robotic and it was hilarious.
But Peacemaker was feeling it.
But it's definitely like one of those intros I would only watch once, because if I have an opportunity to skip an intro, I'm fucking doing it unless It's a Marvel show. Because I can't get past that. Dun, 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 dun.
I know.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna get
Yeah,
it.
we'll sit here and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get when you tune into a show called Nerd. We're nerds. Deal with it.
So, Peacemaker.
Okay, so past the intro, I love where this character is going. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of him in the Suicide Squad because he was kind of outshined by the other cast members. Like, we had a walking shark.
Yes.
And we
Played
had
by Sylvester
Harley
Stallone.
Quinn. Like, we had some heavy hitters in there, so I wasn't really focusing on him. But now that he's in the spotlight, we know that he has an eagle, and we get to see, like, a little bit of his relationship with his dad. This character feels more like a character now. He's grounded, and he has backstory coming up.
Hey, man. Oh, geez. I need some coffee or something. But, yeah, I'm actually digging what I'm watching so far. And, yes, nerds are awesome, Gabbo. So, yes, I want to finish it. What are your thoughts on
Peacemaker? It's funny. I like the fact that it's rated R. John Cena, I'm sorry, he's hilarious. I like him as an actor. I'm digging it. I'm one episode in, but I can't wait to see the next two, at least for now. Excited to see where it goes. I like funny. I like some funny in my stories, and
Same.
Peacemaker is.
I think especially with James Gunn writing and directing it, you still get that essence from the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Because Suicide Squad was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hysterical.
It was pretty funny.
And those type of movies always kill me. And I was actually watching the show earlier, and I got to thinking, I know this is a little bit away from Peacemaker, but it's more about John Cena than it is Peacemaker. If for whatever reason they would want to bring back Sandman, John Cena could play a good Flint Marko. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
He does have the look.
Yeah, because what brought that to my attention was the fact that he's got like a really, really square face.
Yeah,
superhero
face.
If you were going to, because you know how you guys are artists, you know you always start off with the shell, like the circle, a stick figure. Like his face would not be a circle; it would be a square. Yeah. You start John Cena's face off with a square, and I just thought that was a funny little thing. So I'll definitely have to catch up on those episodes because
we all will.
I would really, really like to see where this goes. Hopefully there's some cool cameos in the later episodes.
I know we're about to start getting a lot more epic stuff because at the end of the episode, there's this moment where he has one of the helmets that his dad had made, and there's like a bunch of different ones, and they each have different abilities. I won't get into details about like who he was fighting and why, but the person he was fighting like jumped at him, and he said, "Activate Sonic Boom," and the helmet like covered him in this blue stuff, and then like just a huge explosion. It was crazy.
Left a crater in the ground.
Not only is Peacemaker getting like powers as he goes, but now he's getting help and support, and he's gonna probably become a hero, I think.
I think Peacemaker is like more of an anti-hero than anything.
Yeah, he's like a Deadpool.
Because he wants to do good, because he does it for peace and justice, but he goes about it the absolute wrong way. Because like he said in Suicide Squad, I'm all about peace and justice, and I don't care about how many men, women, and children I have to kill to get it as well. Yeah, he says in the beginning.
That's his motto. So.
Like, he's got good intentions, but if you gotta blow up a kid to get it, you've kind of got problems. So, yeah, let us know what you think. That would be a wrap on today's episode of Nerd Word. Once again, Who Day. We will be back again next weekend for some more nerd talk and nerd stuff. I am HaplessLuckett.
I am Guymanbrodawg.
And I have still been neither one of those. I am still the Fireball.
And we will see you guys next weekend.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.